going on YouTube, social media world? It's your boy AnonymousBased, and I'm biggity back with a new reaction video. This time I'm here with a brand new video from It's Complicated. But before we get into it, if you're new to the channel, go ahead and give this video a like. Share with a couple of your friends. Make sure you follow me on all my social media sites. If you got something specific, go ahead and drop it in that comment section. So we are here with a brand new video from It's Complicated. Shout out to you. And the name of this video is called Equal Pay: Rules of Modern Dating and Understanding Women. Alright, let's go ahead and get into it, man. Let's see how long it's gonna be before they start lying. Let's see.
Who is the most famous actress you can think of?
Actress? Drew Barrymore.
Okay, if Drew Barrymore was in a movie with a male co-star that nobody had heard of, would it be fair to pay them the same salary?
Ooh.
No.
Why not?
Because he's not, like, known of, and because he didn't, like, work to be famous like she did.
Okay,
What?
Since Drew is the star of the movie, won't she bring more people to the theater than her co-star?
Yes.
Okay, that's called star power. How is
Okay.
that different than the gender pay gap?
That's a loaded one. Like, for women or for, like...
Well, I mean, the WNBA complains about not being paid the same to the NBA, and they don't generate as much revenue. So, I mean, isn't that kind of like the same thing?
I feel like the WNBA isn't promoted as much as the NBA because they are women.
No,
Right,
it's not.
but, I mean, wouldn't a male co-star that no one's ever heard of not be promoted as much? And
She just said that the WNBA is promoted just as much as the NBA. That is a whole bunch of cap. Because if you look around in society, how many people do you see walking around with WNBA jerseys on? But you'll see tons of people rocking NBA jerseys from their favorite players, buying the shoes and everything else. I've never seen anybody walk around talking about a pair of Lisa Leslie sneakers or wearing a Lisa Leslie jersey. Honestly, that's like the only WNBA player I know. Most of us, we can't even name 5 WNBA teams. So how is it promoted the same as the WNBA? So with all due respect, ma'am.
You lie! You lie! Lies! Lies! When will the lies end?
not be able to...
Yeah, I guess.
So is that comparable?
Maybe, sure.
I mean, wouldn't it have more to do with performance than discrimination?
Oh, I don't know. You're like...
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
I don't know.
You're right about that one, but I just feel like
if they both doing the same job.
So, you need life insurance. With term, you could pay a premium for many years, and if you don't die, well, congrats, you're alive. But
Hey.
Job, they deserve the same pay. It doesn't matter.
Okay, but at the same time, you know, then why would someone want to star in their movie?
I mean,
what would be the benefit of having a celebrity in your movie if they weren't gonna, you know, bring more people to the theater?
I mean,
right. That makes sense, but
I mean, they're both doing the same job, but don't they have different value to the project?
Yeah, but I feel
yeah,
like
you're right. See?
So shouldn't their
Damn,
pay,
son, where'd you
I
find
feel like-
this?
reflect the value that they're bringing to the movie?
Yeah, I agree with that. I feel like it depends on what part you play. Yeah.
Doesn't that completely disprove the gender pay gap right there?
Yeah.
all right.
You have two actors who are basically both starring and doing the same job, but they have different value because one is a celebrity and the other one's an unknown.
And you're saying with the basketball?
Well, what I'm saying is when it comes to basketball, right?
Yeah.
A lot of women say that the WNBA should be paid the same as the NBA, but
Yeah, they
don't. But they don't generate the same revenue. So isn't that kind of like the same analogy as the celebrity getting paid more than the no-name actor?
In some respect, but at the end of the day, I would say to advertise them more. In all respect, if we look at Nike, if we look at Adidas, who do we see?
They don't make that much money.
Like, we mostly see male, like, athletes. I'm trying to make a pose. Models.
But even if you advertise something more, does that necessarily mean that you're going to have more success? I mean, there are tons of
No.
businesses that fail.
But there's a ton that make it, and it's by advertising.
Acting, it requires you to act, put a little bit more work into it. Actually read a script, right? Read a script, do all these things that NBA players don't have to really do. They just practice and so you can't compare them. You can't compare the two.
But the logic
once
is still
again-
the
As far
same,
as the pay
though.
rate is concerned.
The
Well,
logic
once
is
again,
still the
like
same.
I said, they're both, I mean, they're both training. They're both basically, they're both doing, acting, whether you're a male or a female actor, you're still basically, doing the same work, but they shouldn't be paid the same?
I don't know.
I'm just saying,
I'm over it.
Next question.
I don't think it's based off of discrimination. I think it's based off of how long you've been at your job, how well you are with your technique, and how good you are at what you do. I think that's what matters.
Do you think high-paid Hollywood actors should have their money redistributed so struggling actors can have a living wage?
No, those struggling actors need to work harder for their money if that's what they want.
Okay, but it's funny how a lot of Hollywood actors often talk about, socialism.
Yeah, I see.
So, okay, how do you solve the gender pay gap?
There's not a gender pay gap. That's complete bullshit.
There has been some skepticism about the gender pay gap, equal pay for equal work. Do you believe the wage gap is due more to sexism or productivity?
I think it's sexism.
Yes.
Okay.
I think men get paid more.
Stop the cap.
It's got to be productivity.
Can you show me a job where the pay scale for men and women is different?
Uh-oh.
Okay.
I don't know.
Actors and actresses.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Actors and actresses. They'll be in the same movie.
Yep.
Doing the same amount of work.
Yeah.
If the wage gap exists, then why would companies employ men when it would be cheaper to hire women?
Because companies can be sexist. And that's like the point. That's the problem.
Why would companies employ men when it would be cheaper to hire women?
That is a good one. Hold on. They probably wouldn't.
I mean, if women are capable of doing just as good a job and for less money, wouldn't it make sense for a company to hire all women?
I mean, yeah, if women were getting paid less, what is it, 70 cents on the dollar, yeah, companies would, find a good deal in that, yeah.
Is there a wage gap or an earnings gap?
It's got to be an earnings gap.
If men earn more than women overall, could it possibly be because men typically choose higher paying jobs, more dangerous jobs, and work longer hours?
Yep, these are all facts. I work as a truck driver. I don't see clearly as many female truck drivers as I do male. It's a dangerous job. It's a long job. You're driving for hours. Yeah, no.
Don't women generally choose lower paying fields like education and nursing as opposed to math, science, and ditch digging jobs?
more thinking more.
So wouldn't their pay reflect that?
Yeah, women like to work with people, men like to work with things.
Don't women also choose to take more time off to focus on friends and family, whereas men are more likely to be devoted to work?
I think, yeah, this is also another fact, biology of life.
Women have to bury a child and they have to take maternity leave. So that's a very big issue for most CEOs in the company because they can't really have that liability for an employee to take leave for such a long time. And that's one of the biggest concerns for women being paid so low is because of their it all has to do with.
But isn't that biology? And
yes, it has to do with biology. That's why we're upset.
Why should an employer be responsible for a woman's choice to have a kid?
They're not responsible, but it's just the basic ethics.
No,
it
it's not.
actually is illegal to discriminate pay based on gender. Why aren't more women filing?
What if you could get 196 servings of delicious, good
Dang, that macaroni and cheese look good.
Filing class. Why should an employer be responsible for a woman's choice to have a kid?
They're not responsible, but it's just the basic ethics.
It actually is illegal to discriminate pay based on gender. Why aren't more women filing class action lawsuits against companies that don't pay them?
Okay, guys, if you notice, chick over here with the glasses, she got that septum piercing. What did I say about chicks with septum piercings? What did I say my theory was? Is that they crazy, man. This chick is crazy. No sane woman would get a septum piercing. I'm just saying. You can't. I challenge anybody to find me a perfectly mentally healthy woman that has a septum piercing. I have yet to see that. But anyway, I digress.
Equally.
I would say it's a lot easier to get another job. I mean, I'd love to say like, yeah, we're gonna fight for it, and we do, but to the extent of a lawsuit, I mean, get a new job.
So you don't want it bad
people
enough
sue for
then?
discrimination all the time?
Yeah, but also I feel like it's a lot harder for anybody to then go sue their job due to something that happened, knowing that they're going to go through all the legal fees. They have the possibility of not then winning that case, although they very much would have been discriminated
You don't
against.
want it bad enough
There's
then.
not a high chance that they could win it, and if they do, you get a payout, pays out through the staff, like things like that.
But even a class action lawsuit, I mean, if it was happening as frequently as you hear about it, you would think that companies would be sued all the time.
You would think, but I also don't think a lot of people are going to go through their time to sue a company knowing that it might be more repercussions to them
Because
in the
they
end
know
due
they
to
don't have
money
a
and legal
case.
fees and all that.
They don't have a case, that's why.
I also just think it's not talked about enough in the workplace. Like, there's a large stigma around discussing your pay with your coworkers, because what if you do make more than them and then they're like, hey, like, why are you getting paid more than me? It's something that you don't generally talk about with your coworkers. Like, oh, by the way, I make this much a year, you know? I make this much per paycheck. It's not something that comes up in workplace conversation.
Can you tell me any jobs where the pay scale for men and women is different?
Not off the top of my head without like...
I can.
Oh.
Actors.
Here
I
we
mean,
go.
broad amount of payment, but men are higher paid actors.
Why are some industries dominated by men and others by women?
Oh.
But they don't complain about that though.
Dang, you know, I don't know.
Why are there more female than male strippers and prostitutes, and what does that say about society?
That sex sells, and you know, the female body is more pleasurable to look at, I guess.
Would it be possible to sell sex if men did not sexually objectify women?
No. That's why I'm not complaining.
I'm not complaining.
If I didn't get objectified, I wouldn't get paid.
That's how people view women.
Okay. Why don't men complain about female strippers and prostitutes earning more than male ones?
That's a good
How much of our economy is driven by men buying things to please and impress women?
Oh, that's... Man, it's got to be close to 100%, if not, you know, in the high 90s, you know.
Would you agree that most consumer spending is geared towards women?
Yep.
Yeah, I think the statistics are right. I think 86% of consumer base is women.
Would you also agree that the media pushes a campaign of fear and consumption by exploiting men's need for female validation?
Yeah, look at dating websites. They're not there to find love. They're there to extract as much resources out of men as possible.
So why is there so much talk about the exploitation of women, but we never talk about this exploitation of men?
It's like the society growing up thing, like, you know, toughen up, young man, or, you know, men don't cry or something like that. It's expected of men to front the bill.
Finally, why is there so much talk about a gender pay gap, but not a gender spend gap?
Uh-oh.
You know, I mean, sometimes I believe women want to be men in the sense of that they want the ambition, they want the drive that they have, they want the results, but results aren't given to everybody equally.
How should we determine which jobs are more valuable?
Uh-oh.
It's about supply and demand when it comes to value, what's valuable. So, you know, if it's cracking, if it's a lot of people that want the business, whatever the job is offering, then it should pay more. You know, like McDonald's, man. I think McDonald's workers should get paid more. They making all them goddamn cheeseburgers, man. Pay them McDonald's workers more money, man.
Women can do more than men can in certain aspects, and men can do more than women can in certain aspects.
So if a man is making more, it's because he's doing a job that I probably can't do.
So can we agree that men and women are different?
Yes.
There you go. What does it mean?
Hi, I'm Nicole Hockley from Sandy Hook Promise. I know this is hard to hear, but it's important.
Yeah, I don't want to hear
What does
it.
it mean when somebody says that's a man's job?
Hold on, gotta bring this back. Because the ad was interrupting my
In
flow.
certain aspects, and men can do more than women can in certain aspects.
So if a
It's
man
just-
is making more, it's because he's doing a job that I probably can't do.
So can we agree that men and women are different?
Yes.
There you go. What does it mean when somebody says that's a man's job?
I think in society it's meant to mean that it's like a more macho or like laborious job, society-wise.
Okay, what's a woman's job?
Uh-oh.
A woman's job is anything she wants to be.
No.
I mean,
Well, wouldn't
Stop
a
the
man's
cap.
job also be anything he wants it to be then?
in the same respect, yeah.
Hard work, labor, out and open.
What's a woman's job?
Cook, clean, and make sure the house is good.
Do you think most women want to do those jobs today?
They should.
But do they want to?
Probably not.
So why are men still expected to be what women want if women are no longer encouraged to be what men want?
It's the world we live in.
Isn't that a world of double standards?
It is.
Mechanics, getting your hands dirty, moving labor, driving trucks. The list could go on and on.
Doing stuff
Why
that
are women more
matters.
concerned with the ratio of male to female CEOs as opposed to the ratio of lower paid, dangerous, dirty jobs done mostly by men?
I think because women who want to start their own business or want to be their own CEO are frowned upon because it's looked at that's a man's job, not a woman's job.
It's on the tip of my brain. It's like they don't even acknowledge that as something that makes the world go round. We're in Las Vegas. Men built all of these skyscrapers, roads. There's probably some women in there, but yeah, they're just invisible to that.
Yeah, you're standing in front of the Eiffel Tower. That was built by a man, probably. Would you rather have a high-profile job for no pay or clean sewers for $100,000 a year?
I struggle with the smell of poo. So I think a high-profile job with no pay, because when you think about it, it would come with incentives.
Stop the cap.
Hey, you mileage there.
Man.
There's pros to both of them,
Yo, and I
but
don't wanna
to give
work
you a
for free.
flat-out answer, I would prefer to have the high-profile job without pay, because if I was high-profile, I'd market myself to be sponsored by some company and just keep working at it and get money, get paid, do more with that platform I have.
I'm cleaning
Stop the
sewers for
cap.
100K, man. Ain't no shame in my game.
I'm cleaning sewers. There's no question about it.
Why?
More money.
Clean the sewers. I'm just going in my head. No, I'm gonna clean the sewers for $100,000 a year.
We going to where the
Clean
money
sewers
is.
for $100,000 a year.
I'd rather to first one.
Okay, so wouldn't that explain why you're paid less?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Because you don't want to do...
Because I really don't want to do that.
You don't want to do the dangerous, dirty jobs.
Got 'em.
So could that possibly be why so many women earn less money than men?
Yep.
So is that based on discrimination or based on choice?
And choices.
All right, okay, man. Shout out to It's Complicated for coming through with yet another fire compilation of street interviews called Equal Pay. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the reaction, man. So the first impression of me hearing this and watching this for the first time, yo, I have yet to see this man miss, bro. These people, the people that was in this one, they tried to put up a fight. I'll give them that. They tried to hold down the fort with their arguments, but the logic always prevails, man. They always prevails. No amount of liberal talking points or left-leaning talking points will be able to substantiate a firm stronghold against the powers of logic and reason. So, great job, great work. Shout out to It's Complicated. I don't think I necessarily seen him go this in depth as far as like the differences between the genders when it comes to career choices and work and stuff like that. I think his arguments and his line of questioning was brilliantly done. He was able to really challenge people, and I really like this one because the people that he got for this one, they really were able to articulate their points, even though some of them didn't make sense. They were still able to hold down the fort. With it, you know, it was to the point of futility, but I like the fact that these people, they didn't get overly emotional, they didn't get triggered, they didn't just walk away from the interview because he said something that they didn't like or that they got triggered by. They actually stood there, had the conversation, engaged in civil discourse, and this is the type of content that we need to be able to put our ideas out on Front Street, just have the conversation, you know, pick each other's brains and stuff like that. That way we can come to a general consensus of how things are, how they should be, what needs to be improved, what changes we can make, you know, to move towards a more productive and more coherent society, you know what I mean, and a more cohesive society. So once again, shout out to you for coming through with the fire compilation. And that's pretty much my reaction, man. So if you like the video, go ahead and give this video a like. Share with a couple of your friends. Make sure you follow me on all my social media sites. And if you got something specific, go ahead and drop it in that comment section, man. It's your boy AnonymousBased. Peace.